Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 12th of February, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the essential affairs that you show Ensembles. Big runs around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 for March. Wow, at the end of the video, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Some very, very interesting charts today. More about that in a moment. But I'm going to talk to you about the merch. So we've got new GavsWeatherVids merch for the new year. So, we have got, where's to start? We've got the GavsWeatherVids fridge magnet. You have GavsWeatherVids on your fridge. We've also got the GavsWeatherVids pin, so you can take Gav with you wherever you go, you know, on the lapel. It's lovely. And we've got a GavsWeatherVids key fob as well. There's our key fob. So they come as a free piece, just £12. You just send £12 to GavsWeatherVids PayPal. You can get those PayPal account. You can get those free items. We have also got a new season coaster and mug as well. That's a 2-piece. Again, they're retailing at £12. So if you want the 5 together, as a, you know, the 2 and the 3 as a 5-piece, then £24. And just send it to GavsWeatherVids PayPal account. You can find it in the link in the description of the video. Send it, you know, there, and put a little note with it saying that it's for merch, and we'll get those out to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting the channel. It's helping to pay for me to do all of this, you know, be here doing these videos for you all. So if you could, you know, if you want to, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you go for one of the either the 3-piece or the 2-piece, so if you go for either that or that, can you let me know, you know, which items you want, because they're both retailing for £12, if you get me. But if you want, you know, want all 5 together as a 5-piece, then it's £24. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Where am I going to put that? Okay, down there. Right, thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. As I say, it's helping to pay for the channel. Please like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that as well. And let's crack on with a vid. Lot to talk about today. So we're going to start off with the situation in terms of temperature at 10 HPA stratosphere over the Arctic and the North Pole. The blue colours are the cold temperatures at their roots in the stratosphere over the North Pole. As we run through the next week or so, we see both blue colours are maintained, but notice a warming by second week of February, starting to gather pace over Russia and into Siberia. Look what happens with that. It intensifies as we head towards the middle part of February, so by 14th, Valentine's Day, becoming really quite a significant stratospheric warming over Russia and moving in toward the polar region as well, causing a displacement event of the polar vortex. So notice these blue colours being pushed out of the Arctic pole down into North America, North Atlantic, northern parts of Europe. That's what we call a displacement event of the polar vortex going on there. That's a setup by the end of the GFS 06z run, 18th of February. This is a very significant warning of the strategy that we've got going on here. Will it be enough to split the vortex and reverse the zone of wind? That remains to be seen, but this looks like really quite a significant development now that the GFS is starting to forecast in terms of those stratospheric temperatures as we go further on into February. This is from weatheriscool.com. This is showing the zone of wind. So at the moment, so one way you look at the polar vortex, like the cold temperatures, their roots from stratosphere. Another way you can look at it is with the zone of wind. And the blue line here shows at the moment the zone of wind is actually very close to average. The black line is average. The blue line is the zone of wind this season. We did get a reversal of zone of winds by way in the middle of January, only for a day or so, and then it powered back up again. As I said, at the moment, the zone of wind is about average. If we put in the GFS Ensembles, so we're forecasting, or GFS Ensembles are forecasting zone of winds to strengthen in the next week or so, but then a really quite significant weakening of zone of winds is predicted, and quite a few of those GFS Ensemble members are now starting to send the zone of wind into reverse. And how remarkable that this looks very similar similar to what happened at the same time last year. So again, let's just get rid of those blue lines and concentrate on the red dash line. So this is last year's season in terms of the zone winds. You remember last year we had a reversal of zone winds following a sudden stratospheric warming event in the middle of February. The zone wind dropped out, became very weak. Indeed, never really recovered then through the rest of the winter. And if we put the GFS Ensembles back in again, that does look very, very similar, doesn't it? Remarkably similar to last year. So we might be going to get reverse of zone wind following SSW happening, you know, more or less around the same time, but it happened last year. Of course, last year had a displacement event to a polar vortex rather than a split event, and we don't know whether we'll get a split event or not this time. So we'll keep you updated, we'll keep you posted, but all started to look very, very interesting strat-wise. Okay, let's see if we've had any update from Hadley with CT. So not yet. I think we might have to wait another day to get February's first day of data in. Whoops, my line went a little bit wonky, but we do confirm there that the CT for January came out at 4.7, which is 0.9 of a degree above 61 to 1990 average. When we get an update for February, we shall bring that to you. Right, these were GFS upper air temperature precipitation ensembles. The next couple of weeks, red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Nottingham, starting off above average. I'm saying that way for the next week, really, or certainly the next few days anyway. But we have got a cooling trend as we go through the second week of February. Looks like things will be turning potentially really quite significantly colder, particularly for where we're starting off at. In the very extended range with a GFS ensemble, which is this period just here, then we do see a little bit of a tick up in the upper air temperature starting to take place. So how long any cold weather lasts for is a bit uncertain, but probably, you know, about a week through the second week of February looks quite likely there. The thick green line is a GFS 06z operational run. That does become a cold outlier later on towards the end of the run. You'll find out how that happens in a moment. Precipitation-wise, so going to be a reasonable amount of dry weather over the next few days. But next week, certainly the middle second half of next week, looking much more unsettled as that drop in the upper air temperatures takes place. It is going to be coming. It is going to become more unsettled, and it's going to become cold as well. If it's cold enough, there could be some snow, and look at this, Snow Road looking quite encouraging for Nottingham to get some snow there as we go between around the 8th and the 11th or 12th of February. A lot of those runs producing snow spikes, and some rather large snow spikes as well, actually. How interesting. Temperature anomalies on the 2nd, 10th of February, above average, but notice Scandinavia and Nordic regions are starting to cool down again. Precipitation anomalies for the 2nd, 10th of February, wetter than average. So if it starts getting cold, there is going to be precipitation around. Okay, latest Windflow Map from earthnullschool.net shows, but at the moment, no prospect of cold weather because we're drawing the air up from the Azores, actually. So that's going to carry on through the week into the beginning of next week, bathing us in those very, very mild temperatures from the Azores. Right, let's start going through your important chart data. This is what you're waiting for. High pressure to the south, low pressure to the north on Monday, dragging up those long fetch southwesterlies from the Azores. That carries on and Tuesday as well, but some slightly colder air starts inching its way southwards into Scotland. The middle of next week sees battle lines drawn. There's a weather from through here to the south of it. We've got mild southwesterly winds, and to the north of it we bring down these colder northerlies. What happens? Well, this area of low pressure starts slinking its way in through the middle part of next week, and so that's how we look as we get to the end of the UK Met run. Not much in the way of cold weather with that, just centering the low pressure over the top of the country there. Upper air temperatures looking very mild away from the far north of Scotland. Now, check out Icon. So again, we drag up those southwesterly winds as we go through Monday. They carry on into Tuesday as well. So slightly cold red just starting to dig into the far north Scotland through Tuesday. But that cold red comes much more successfully further southwards by Tuesday to Wednesday. It's a midnight Wednesday. Cold air beginning to dig its way down all the way into the southern half of the country. And much further south of that area of low pressure as well. So as we get into the second half of next week, most of the country is sitting under cold air, because low trying to come up from the southwest, coming into that cold air, could produce some snow across the southern parts of the country. Can you believe? Upper temperatures looking a lot colder with Icon compared to the UK Met. So still a lot of uncertainty about how this is going to work itself out next week. Icon potentially looking cold and snowy for the south through the second half of next week. This is how the KMA is looking. So again, we draw in most southwesterly winds over the weekend, and then early next week, cold air begins to move its way southwards. That takes us through to the middle of next week. This low pressure coming in off the Atlantic into that cold air. So perhaps a bit, perhaps rather on the mild side in the south, but anywhere from Wales and the Midlands northwards, looking cold through the second half of next week. And the low pressure eventually clears away to the south. We open the door to these easterly winds then as we get into the weekend of the 10th and the 11th of February. That easterly looks very cold, I have to say, and would bring snow showers in with it if it came off. So cold easterly winds setting in with the KMA by the second weekend of February, and then high pressure establishing over top of the country, keeping the weather mostly cold, keeping the cold weather going, but turning things rather drier. Notice high pressure over Scandinavia there by the end of the KMA run, with high pressure in the Atlantic. It looks like a prolonged cold spell setting up with that KMA run today. This is how the GFS midnight run is looking. Again, high pressure south, low pressure north on Monday. In comes those mild or very mild southwesterly winds. Cold air starting to push southwards from Tuesday into Wednesday, behind potentially quite an active cold front. Could bring some quite heavy rain southwards with it. Then mist low comes in off the Atlantic into that cold air. So that brings some slightly less cold air into the south, milder there, but certainly central northern regions looking cold with those easterly winds. Eventually below pressure moves down into France by Saturday 10th of February, opening the door to those cold or very cold east to northeasterly winds. And then we go into what looks like quite a prolonged cold spell. Now that's day 10, Monday the 12th of February, under that area of high pressure. That will be cold and frosty, and there could be snow showers continuing around those eastern coastal regions. A little bit less cold in the extended range, some slightly milder air coming around the top at the high pressure there by Valentine's Day, but then eventually we start moving that high pressure back northwards again, and we re-establish a northerly. So by the very end of the GFS midnight run, gets us to Sunday the 18th of February. We're looking cold with strong northerly winds, potentially bringing snow showers with them. Notice a blocking area of high pressure getting going around Greenland. This is a precipitation forecast based on that GFS midnight run. So not much rain to come over the next few days. What rain there is mostly going to be up in the north. Tuesday takes that rain southwards. That's on the cold front, of course. Cold air digging in behind it. Showers turn to snow across Scotland. Then more wet weather coming off the Atlantic through the middle next week. That's 3 a.m. Thursday. Heavy rain in the south, turn to heavy snow in Northern Ireland and Northern England with that one. And eventually, as below pressure pulls away to the east, of cold air digs southwards. So that eventually, by the end of next week, brings some heavy snow down into Wales, the Midlands, and parts of East Anglia. Straight for the towers. Then we open the door to those east-northeasterly winds over the weekend, the 10th, 11th of February. Bring more snow showers into northern and eastern parts of the country. And then we're just keeping it mostly dry, but cold, really, as we go beyond that. Right, that's that one done. Now, check out the GFS 06z. You thought that was interesting. Have the butchers at this. Again, southwesterly winds on Monday. Very mild. Cold air beginning to drift southwards through Tuesday into Wednesday. Then low pressure comes into that cold air Wednesday to Thursday. Further south with that area of low pressure. That's more like Icon. We're going to the strong and bitterly cold northeasterly winds through the second half of next week. Upper air temperatures looking nice and cold, but could be some snow down across southern counties. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Heading into the weekend of the 10th and the 11th of February, high pressure sits over the country then. Will be mostly dry, cold and frosty if that comes up. But look what happens after that. The high pressure starts moving up to Scandinavia. And yes, we begin to open the door to a proper long fetch eastage. You follow the isobars map, the air is originating from up here. So that is what we call a long fetch easterly coming all the way from the Urals. And check out the upper air temperatures. A pool of bitterly cold air is sitting across Scandinavia and also northeastern Europe. And yes, the GFS 06z unleashes the beast, everybody. We unleash the beast. The GFS 06z beast from the east on these easterly winds. Bitterly cold air dragged in from the east, -10 Celsius isotherm, flooding across country, -15 Celsius isotherm is in the North Sea. That will bring lots of heavy snow showers in from the east on those easterly winds. Look at that easterly there. By Friday the 16th of February, goodness gracious me, that would really set the cat among the pigeons if it came off. Look how cold the upper air temperatures remain there through to the middle part of February. Wow. Exciting, isn't it? By the end, I'm so sorry. By the end of, try to be unbiased now. By the end of the GFS 06z, we begin to shift the wind round more towards the south and southeast. That starts to bring some slightly less cold air up from the south. Just go back to the ensemble just to say that as interesting as that was, it was a cold outlier. Well, not necessarily. Well, yes, it was really an outlier. There's a couple that might be doing something similar, but really that was an outlier through that period, just there unleashing the beach. But certainly nice bit of eye candy, quite interesting. This is a precipitation forecast based on that GFS 06z run. Again, we're looking at wet weather into the northwest through the weekend to start of next week. It's Tuesday, but we bring that cold front southwards. That takes rain south across England, Wales, snow showers following on behind into Scotland. And then we've got precipitation coming in from the Atlantic through to Thursday, so that brings rain to south, snow through parts of the Midlands and eastern England maybe. And a proper old snow event there as we go through Thursday. Heavy rain in far southeast corner, but heavy snow through Wales and Midlands and East Anglia. I'll be snowed in with that. In the towers, I'll be snowed in. So, yes, proper snowy spell the second half of next week. GFS 06. I think Icon will be very similar to that as well. Then we're into those northeast winds. They bring snow showers into northern northeast regions. Those snow showers probably will be more widespread than that suggests before high pressure sits over top of the country, bring mainly dry weather over weekend of the 10th, 11th of February. And then we start back wind into the east. So income around Valentine's Day, these snow showers in the east, and look how they start pushing eastwards. Wow. That's what a long fetch easterly can do. Now we've got snow showers piling in from the east. Suggestion probably of longer spells of snow in some of these eastern and southeastern regions. It's a kind of pattern that can really bury the eastern coastal areas in a lot of snow. And those snow showers can push quite a long way inland if the wind is strong enough and the upper air temperatures are strong enough as well. So look at all that snow piling in there across England and Wales through the 15th, 16th of February. Imagine if that came off. Imagine the live streams and whatnot I could do with that. We shall see. Very unlikely to verify, but exciting update anyway on the GFS 06z. These are the sort of charts that, you know, get the juices flowing when you're a weatherman. Right, or weather forecaster. Right, okay, if you enjoyed the video, please you like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for doing that. I think it's been an entertaining one so far. I think so, hopefully. No, if you've enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for doing that. We only need to put on around 45 subscribers now, get 17.9k. We're trying to get to 18k before the end of the winter. I think, in fact, GFS 06z run came off, we would have a good chance probably of getting to 18,000 subs, but it probably won't come off. But anyway, please give us a sub, tell your friends and family to subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Okay, GM once more pulling up that southwest wind on Monday, and then for Tuesday, Wednesday, cold air starts to drift southwards with this area of low pressure turning increasingly unsettled and wintry through the middle second half of next week. Long, well, not necessarily long phase, but a strong easterly northeast wind gets going late next week. Low pressure over France, high pressure away to the north on the isobars. That the air is originating really from Russia, so yes, it probably is a long fetch easterly we've got there. Upper air temperatures looking cold, and through days 9 and 10 we got a proper Scandinavian high going, winds coming in from the east, and bitterly cold air has flooded eastwards as well, so the GEM looks kind of similar to the GFS 06z run, actually, today. And it's very cold and potentially bringing snow in from the east there by day 10. Goodness gracious me. And ECM WF rounding it all off with the southwesterly winds on Monday, looking very mild. Then they carry on Tuesday as well, based on slightly colder air, such as southwards as you go from Tuesday into Wednesday. Showers turning to snow across central and also northern parts of Scotland. Remember, second half of next week brings low pressure in off Atlantic, much further north with that area of low pressure. That's like the UK Met, so much more of the country in the warm sector with that low through the second half next week. However, it does eventually find its way into a cold pattern as the low pressure starts to slip southwards through the weekend of the 10th and the 11th of February. Winds turn into the north and we start pulling down much colder air from the north. Upper air temperatures turn cold over the weekend of the 10th and the 11th of February. That's the setup by day 10. Not as exciting as some of the model output that we've just seen, but nevertheless still looking quite cold and wintry with low pressure to our east and winds coming in from generally a north or a northeasterly direction. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Temp.com. Have a quick look at that. Again, any precipitation is going to be mostly in the north and the northwest over the next few days. It's really around Tuesday that cold front starts coming southwards, bringing band of rain southwards with it. We go colder through the middle of next week, and then in comes that next low from off Atlantic. Remember, some of model output has this low much further southwards around Thursday next week, but the ECM has it further north, and so the snow risk is really in the northern half of the country, Scotland and northern England, with lots of heavy rain down in the south. But it does eventually turn cold, even with the ECM. Just takes a little bit longer to get there, but eventually we start to drag those cold northeast winds southwards, and the snow risk comes southwards with it, with them as well. So by the 10th of February, that's Saturday the 10th, I think, we're all looking cold then, and we've got quite a bit of snow going on across England and Wales. And then we're into those cold northwest winds, they bring snow showers southwards with them. Right, so these are the options on the table within the ECM Ensemble today for day 10. Gets us 12th of February from the Icelandic Met Office. 19 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure over top of the country, high pressure out in the Atlantic. That looks unsettled and potentially quite wintry, with winds coming from a northeasterly direction. 16 including the control and the operational room with low pressure over and to the east of the country, so that's probably quite cold by day 10 as well. And then we've got another 16 low pressure to our east and also to our south. To be honest, all the options are looking relatively cold and wintry, I think, by the time we get through to day 10. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It will get us to the 17th of February. 18 members of the ECM ensembles with blocking between Greenland and Scandinavia, trying to keep things cold. But we do also have an area of high pressure over France that's going to try and bring milder air back up from the southwest. In between, there's going to be a divide that there could be fun and games on that divide, of course. 17 with high pressure to the north and to the northwest. That will be bringing a wind from an easterly direction. Could they be unleashing the beast? And then 16 with high pressure around Greenland, actually low pressure over the continent, and that's going to be bringing a wind from a northeasterly direction. So very, very interesting ensemble clusters today, and if you put the 17 there together with the 16 there, the majority option looks cold, I have to say, at day 14. And even this option, the 18 here, even that option probably, you know, isn't far away from being cold as well. So we shall see. It's all to be revealed. I don't think we can really look with any confidence beyond sort of Wednesday, Thursday, and got weekend forecast due tomorrow, of course. So hopefully we'll get things resolved, you know, in terms of detail for the second half of next week anyway, by the time I do the weekend forecast tomorrow. But it is all looking increasingly cold and wintry, I think, for the second week of February and into the middle part of the month today with the model output. And then last we got CFS V2 for March. Remember, these change daily, but today's idea for March in terms of 700 millibar heights is for blocking to continue in the North Atlantic and to the north of the UK. Low pressure is running into south, and that should be bringing the wind from an easterly direction. So that looks like it should be a cold March. I see no reason why it wouldn't be. The model is actually going for average temperatures or no signal. And you can see where the blocking is, where it's drier than average up to our north. But that scenario, that 700 millibar high dominant prediction, to me looks like it should deliver a colder than average March. So maybe we're going to get a pair of cold months for February and March. We shall see. It will all be revealed. Time will tell. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thanks so much everybody for doing that. Been a long video bits, but very, 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 very interesting. The plot is thickening. Everyone, plot's thickening, and we're going to keep you updated with all of the developments here at GavsWeatherVids over the coming few days. Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you what's coming up on the channel tomorrow. We've got 6 AM UK weather forecast. We'll have a weekend forecast, the EC46 there, and a 10 to 14 day or two. Don't forget, but at 6 PM, we've got the channel member live stream. So if you're a channel member and you ram a channel at 6 o'clock, I shall see you then for this month's channel member stream. And then at 10:30, we've got the pub run live. That's back after being away for a couple of weeks. So I shall see you for a couple of laughs, maybe. That's a drop of magic water. Who knows? At 10:30. But for this, again, please give us a sub as well. We only need 45 subscribers to get ourselves to 17.9k. So thanks so much everyone for doing that. For this video, that's all for now. And thanks for watching. Woo!